Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms. In this reading, we're going to see how you can be more productive, more focused, how can you know when you've taken on too much, and so on and so forth. There's plenty of sub-questions that we can take a look at. So we have pile 1 over here, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. The timestamps are in the description box. Make sure to choose with your intuition. If you're not sure how exactly to do that, you can always refer to the video in the ribbon above. But once you've made your choice, click on your time and we can get started. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. We're going to find out how you can be more productive each day, get as many tasks as you can completed, and overall just feel better, more focused, and just maintain your well-being while also getting stuff done. Right, so you chose this card over here. It says Queen of Wands. Perfect. Isn't that like one of the best ways to start? This is all about confidence and charisma, being the leader of your own life and stepping up to your own standards and improving and developing on yourself very proactively. Okay, setting goals, staying focused, staying very determined, and doing things that you like, which upholds your energy all the time, right? You want to keep going back to it again and again because it makes you feel so alive. You can see the expression on her face, right? She's feeling so active, so alive, and extremely vibrant within herself. So that's an awesome way to start. And then we have the ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. Okay, so you people, you already know what works for you and what does not work for you. But I guess you're here to get a little bit of a boost. No problem, we can do that. But yeah, even if you have been kind of procrastinating, you know what you need to do, you know how you can get more done, but still you're kind of like sitting back and not really doing much about it. The ostrich is saying, come on guys, you already know, just go ahead and do it. You know that this will make you feel happy and better once you get started on it, and you can just keep going and going and going. The Queen of Wands, she does not run out of any energy. You know, she's always replenished, and because she's the queen, she knows how to protect herself as well. She knows when it is too much. She knows when it's not enough, because yeah, she's very much in tune with how she's not just feeling, I was going to say feeling, because that is something inherent with all the queens, but the Wands is kind of like, if I'm not vibrant, if I'm not feeling energetic enough, there's something off. So she feels her energy levels, the amount of stamina she has when she wakes up, when she goes to bed, when she's going throughout her day, what brings her down, what wakes her up. She keeps track and she keeps note of everything. Okay, the type of people that she interacts with, who brings her down and who does not, who uplifts her. She's very, very honest with herself, because of which she's better able to, you know, channel her time, her efforts, and overall her energy. What do you pay attention to? That's where you're engaging with that situation more, right? That's where you're expending your energy. So she's very particular about where she uses it, right? Okay. And we also have the cardinal. Stand tall and proud, see the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. Yes, so this is again very synchronous with the Queen of Wands. You need to step up and be the leader of your own life. You need to start taking, or keep taking, a lot of ownership of your own life, because you're the one shaping your tomorrow, right? Not your parents, not your friends, not your siblings, no one else, but only you. Who you become is in your hands, and the cardinal is here to remind you of that. Okay, and the more you take charge, the more situations that will come through, which will first of all show you where you have become a leader already, and also give you more opportunities to keep improving, because the Queen of Wands does not like to just sit back and be like, okay, I'm awesome. Okay, she knows she's awesome, but she has to also stay awesome, right? So she'll always keep doing different things and trying to find more things that excite her, that surprise her, that make her feel very bright and adventurous as well. Just brighten up. That's basically what I'm getting for your pile. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next questions. This was the very basic question, right? But we also need to know how you can stay focused. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Then we have the Nine of Wands. Okay. We also have Move Beyond Intention to Belief. And Cozy Up with Risk. That's a lot of red. With the Cardinal, the Queen of Wands, these two cards as well. So much red happening there. So it's a lot about fire energy, okay? So if you work with chakra, for example, solar plexus is connected with the fire element. It is the home of our gut instinct, our confidence, our get going, get working, the very powerhouse, basically, of all the chakras, okay? So that's where we start moving and we do things, and very action oriented, direction oriented, extremely masculine energy that is there. Okay, so if you work with that, then perhaps that needs a bit of balancing. So take a look at that, but also maintaining your red is also associated with the root chakra, but that kind of goes without saying that you need to have a strong foundation. You need to know from the very nitty-gritty that you like to do this particular task, right? And if not, you need to power through. And where do you get that power? This Nine of Wands is kind of, you power through, you know, despite obstacles, because you have that amount of energy, you have that amount of resolution, and you need to keep going and keep going and keep going, because you will blossom, you know. That is like set in, not stone, I'm not going to say set in stone, but if you keep on this track, you will be successful. It's kind of like that. So where do you get this strength, this powerhouse that I was talking about, is from knowing that you like what you're doing, one, and the next is knowing that you can do it. Okay? I know that everyone is not doing what they like to do. That's it's a sad situation in the world, but you know, it's one step at a time. It's one hurdle at a time. It's not all of them together. You just keep going. The Wheel of Fortune is like, keep going, keep going. You will get to the center, you will get to the root of the problem or the root of your concern. Just keep going. And it's a little bit about go with the flow, because in that flow itself, the natural forces, basically, the kind of like the people you meet, you don't orchestrate who are you going to meet, right? You just meet them and you just gel with them. Some people you don't gel and you wonder why you don't like them or why they don't like you. You know, with all these varied interaction, you're actually learning a lot more than you're realizing, you know, on a conscious day-to-day basis. But things will unfold as and when you cross certain hurdles in your daily life. Even if it is doing certain chores, it's kind of like, just power through, just go and do it, just go and do it. Okay, instead of just sitting there and thinking, know that you can do it. Okay, perhaps a lot of you are kind of resisting because you don't know if it is going to work out fine or not, or can you complete so and so tasks. Can you get to your creative work, or can you also manage your day-to-day job plus your hobbies and other interests that you may have, or even something that you want to learn. It might feel like a bit of a risk. For example, it might feel like you're diving into something and you don't know if you can complete it, and you don't want to go ahead and do it if you're not going to complete it. This here is saying that you can complete it, you will complete it if you stay the course. And you know what? Get the ball rolling. It's not everything today. It's one thing today. It's one thing. Just getting started. I feel like this is more about just start. Just start. Okay? Oof. And the focus will come, the drive will come, the motivation will come. It will all come. You need to start and then keep pushing. Just keep going. Because I feel like it's more about the end goal for you. Okay, that can be something that is stopping you as well. Like you need you to be successful in anything that you want to achieve. And if you cannot guarantee that you will be successful or not, then it is something that is difficult for you to get started on, right? That can be for some of you. But this here is saying, don't worry about that. Things will happen in their own time, in their own place. And even if we know that, it's helpful to, hear it again as a reminder. So I feel like even if you already know it, it's still relevant for you. Okay, I want to read from the book, mainly because it's a new deck, but also there are some really interesting stuff that I don't necessarily get from this. Okay. You are a spiritual being and you have light working charisma in spades. You have the glow of a leader, there you go, and the ability to bring people together under a common umbrella for a unified goal. Use your powerful voice and your message to inspire people and show them the way by walking the talk. Yeah, exactly. Get started, you do it, and the rest will follow. Seek to serve and move from intention to a place of unquestionable belief. You are being asked to untether your faith so that it can multiply and flourish. Remember that there is no need to follow anyone else without first checking in with your own wise heart. Are you holding on to old ways of thinking without questioning them? What beliefs are you growing into? Exactly, what are you growing into? If you don't surpass it, you cannot reach to this prose, right? You can stay stuck here, you can stay stuck here. There are many places that you can definitely get stuck, but the point is to keep in mind that, hey, I need to get to this goal over here. I'm here, but I need to get here, okay? And whatever comes my way, I will reach my goal. Because you lead, you decide. The hurdle does not. The block does not. Okay. Allow Spirit to show you how to believe, how to really believe, because that is how your intentional, miraculous, and spectacular life thrives. Exactly. Choose your beliefs. Write them down. Know that they will guide you through any hardship you face. Say them out loud and hear the conviction in your voice. State your future for the universe to hear, and when you do, you will unlock a beautiful symphony of success. There you go. Is an old belief keeping you locked in the status quo? It may not always click, it may not always be easy, but how can you make sure it always feels uplifting and inspiring? How can you navigate an old paradigm with new ways of thinking? And how can you navigate a new paradigm and the unknown with old traditions in tow? And what needs to happen so that the past and the future can be merged gracefully? Yes, about that. The Wheel of Fortune is also about fate and destiny, right? Kind of karma unfolding. Yeah? So it naturally always encompasses that the past always has an effect on the future. So you need to see that whatever you're doing at this very moment will have a domino effect on your life later today, tomorrow, and a little bit later on as well, right? Bigger the task, bigger the domino effect, obviously. But you must already notice that one day when you don't cook or you don't do the dishes or you don't fold your clothes or whatever it is, it's anything small like that, it is a little bit annoying the next day when you can't find a certain thing in that particular place. It can be different for everyone, for some people clutter is okay and their priorities are different, so take it as it resonates. That's then too personal, right? But you can see how when you miss out on one day, it does have an effect on your mood the next day, right? It's kind of do it as you go. It's not all at once. Take it one at a time. That's so much there, but do it. Take charge of what you want to experience, what you want to be doing, what you want to invite into your life, right? Okay. How can you stretch your views in order to honor others' beliefs? How can you find a satisfying middle ground? How solid is your faith in yourself, in the task you're doing? It's kind of like, I hear this quite a bit, like I want to work out, but they don't really, you don't really want to work out. You want to work out, if that makes sense. You wish you were wanting to work out, basically. But that's not actually believing in it. You're still doubting it. You're still not wanting it. You just feel like that should be something that you should want, and look nice and feel nice. That's something of an imagination, but you don't want to do the work for it. You just want that end goal, right? So getting to that process, it will need work. So it's kind of like, do you want that really? Do you really want to look really, really, beach ready or something? Is that so much of a priority to you? It's time to really question that, right? Because if it's not, you can just stop banging your head over the whole process. You don't need to feel guilty about it. You don't need to feel so sorry about anything. Because there are many other influences that impact the things that we want to create in our life, right? For example, social media will always, emphasize how gorgeous everyone should look 24/7 and have the perfect life. But even if that is very shiny and gorgeous looking for other people, is it really your cup of tea? And it's okay to say no. Okay? Because the point here is, you're productive with the things that you want to flourish in. It does not have to be easy. 9 of Wands, not easy, but the rose thrives. There are thorns, and it can sting certain people. It is not everyone's cup of tea, but it definitely is gorgeous in itself. It is a rose. You blossom. Here you can see, first it is like, it's kind of all the 4 seasons. Over here you can see the fruit, the flowers, the seeds here, and the dying leaves in autumn and winter. So it's one thing at a time. It takes time for everything to build, and keep in mind that you are building a habit. Even that takes forever, right? But that's why it is important that you actually want what it is that you want to create in your life. If you want to be more productive in, let's say, your work, then it is important to streamline the work process, right? It is also important to see if there are any other aspects in your home that is kind of getting in the way. For example, you don't want to go shopping today, so you have to go tomorrow, but you also have to work tomorrow, right? So that kind of clashes, and now you have a compounded situation happening in your head where you're like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, overwhelmed, very flustered, and I want to do everything, but I don't have the time, and I'm feeling tired, and just thinking about all of these many things to do, you will feel exhausted even before you start, right? So it's important to do things as and when they come, and get through all the hurdles of again, it is a varied advice for the type of task that you're doing. If it's something like of an arts or creative something, or studying for an exam or something, it's more of the power through. Meanwhile, if it is something on a daily regular basis, then it's taking it one step at a time and finishing things as and when they come. I hope I'm making myself very, very clear. Okay. Because keep in mind, this is a general reading. Many different types of people will click on the same piles. So, yeah. Okay. Now, cozy up with risk. Risk is inevitable when you are pursuing your dreams. So go on, cozy up, and get to know each other. Risk is a little bit like a campfire. Both need to be watched and tended carefully. Neither should be feared, and respect and responsibility are part of the deal. And just as a campfire can be a magical catalyst for 100 wonderful stories, risk can be the catalyst for 100 realized dreams. Encountering risk means you are aware, pushing boundaries and innovating, and you are bravely trying new things, testing ideas, and living. Trust that your reward will be waiting for you when you take your leap of faith. Yes, and that you will find your soft landing in love, in your investments, or in your creations. This is a catalyst for something better. You are working toward an extraordinary life, and the only way to arrive passes right by the warm, inevitable glow of the unknown. Are you worrying without any real cause? Are you stressed when things don't go exactly as planned? Are you blowing your risk out of proportion? Are you ruminating over things you cannot change? Are you worrying about something that hasn't happened yet? What area in your life requires a little more trust from you? I like that there are these, questions at the end which kind of make you think. I'm not going to answer them. It's something of a, self-check. right? I really like that. I hope that helps. But I love that there's so much fire and energy and stamina that you already have, and it's just about kind of utilizing them in the very right places. So I hope that helped. Okay, next we're going to know, how can you know if it is the right time for a task? How will you be feeling and how will you know? Okay, we have Lilith, raw, primal, subconscious, and repressions. And we have Pisces. And okay, and we have the Six of Swords, and also we have the Two of Swords. Okay, you'll just feel very cluttered. You'll just become very confused, and which way do I go? What do I do first? That'll be like the first trigger, where it can also happen that you kind of start overthinking about things and start procrastinating as well. Kind of stay all up in the air and actually make no tangible efforts. And it will overall feel very stagnant and you won't feel like yourself. Basically, your energy levels drop and you're not able to trust your intuition. You're not able to, guide yourself. That's when you know that you need to, get focused and get started again. You need to do something, do something. Even if it is, let's say, gardening or looking at your plants or something, anything at all that just gets you going back into your own pace. So when you feel cluttered, that's when you know that you need to get started and do something. And again, it's a very gradual process, and kind of see what you feel like doing at that time. Don't pressure yourself into being this go-getter lady all the time. That's not possible, that everyone stays in only one type of personality all the time, right? We're a whole mixture and cocktail of so many different types. So you don't need to pressure yourself to do one specific thing on your to-do list. If you don't want to do any of those things, that's fine. It's just important that you get started again, get moving again, and that way, you get back your energy levels again. Okay? It does happen, right? When you're lethargic, you just stay lethargic, and it's really tough to get out from that spot. But once you keep, start doing something or the other, you just think of more things that you can do or you want to do and you're ready to do as well. So that's a good tip. Yeah, okay. Cool. Now let's move on to how can you get all the things you want to get done each day. Okay, we have Creator Alchemy. This is the first time I'm getting it. And we also have Eight of Pentacles. There you go. Again, the Eight of Pentacles is talking about doing one thing at a time, not rushing it. It's very steady paced. Rome was not built in a day. Nothing was built in a day. You need to work on one thing at a time. It's, the bee is busy, but it does little by little. But when you see over time, it has built its entire home. It's providing us honey. It does so much work. That simile, right? Busy as a bee. That basically. Okay? One by one, little by little, and you get things done. Yeah. Don't think about, 10 steps ahead, basically. The Eight of Pentacles, it's very steady. It's slow. Pentacles are slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay? It's one thing. Don't think about, then I have to do this, then I have to do that, then that. No. Yeah, organizing is fine. That probably when you make the to-do list, you can, put things around and kind of see how that fits with your schedule. But other than that, when you're doing the work, once you get started, just, that you have taken care of it, so you don't have to think about it again and again. Okay? Now, Creator Alchemy, this is the first time I'm seeing this card in a reading, so I'm going to have to read. Okay. You are a powerful alchemist, and you are ready to transform the ingredients of your life and make your gold. You are about to step into a timeline of great potential, where there is a window of opportunity to engage in your own evolution. Use your Creator Alchemy to refashion offbeat skills or to rethink unusual experiences from your past that will become relevant again. Okay, so perhaps you have worked like this before, you are aware of it, and kind of makes sense why the ostrich would say you've done this before, you know how this works, you know what will work for you, so go ahead and follow that. Okay, so these fleeting moments offer quintessential creatures like you the power to activate dormant DNA, change your awareness of self, and experience a profound inner change. Some call it ascension, others call it a frequency shift, and others perceive it as neurogenesis, epigenetics, or upgrades in consciousness. As you blend past and future, your creator core is ready to level up and draw inspiration from this upgrade. Try to remain on your highest vibe over the next few days so you can take advantage of this potential. Co-create willingly with Source and watch for unusual or eccentric illuminations to seed the way. Changing matter into creator gold will be anything but business as usual. Have you been tracking the ideas and wisdom that you've been downloading from Spirit lately? You're a badass creator. You've been alchemizing your experiences for a while now, so what's holding you back from manifesting the big dream? Do you need more support, technique, guidance, determination, faith, passion, energy, certainty, knowing, or what ingredient will speed up your transformation? Yeah, it's kind of asking you to, break it down. What exactly are you needing? You can't say, I don't know, right? You need to know. Productivity, staying focused, getting stuff done is all about you need to know what you're doing, where you want to go, how can you achieve it, what are you lacking within yourself and also externally, right? It's important to have a think about these things. So this mainly is all about acting on your inspirations as well, and knowing that you can create change in your life. You have done it before, so you can do it now as well, right? Even Spirit is not going to be like, hey, boom, okay, today you're different, from now on you're a different person. No, it will just do it in a very gradual process, in digestible yet profound sections and bits, right? And once you know these different sections and different parts of the lessons that you need to learn, you need to work on them. And once you have honed them, once you have perfected yourself, then you upgrade, then you keep moving. You build a bigger hive. You build a better space for you. You upgrade the level of your energy. What else can you do? What more can you achieve? How else can you be talented? How are you transforming based on the things that you're learning and doing? Realizing all of that can also really give you a big boost, by the way. Yeah. So you can think back to, for example, one of those days, one of those times where you really did not feel like doing much, but you did them anyway because you had to. But by the end, contradictory to what you were feeling in the morning, you actually felt much better. Even if the task itself wasn't exactly super illuminating or anything, just because you got up and got started, you started feeling better about yourself or about the life that you are living. It just kind of turned around. So think back to such a time and realize that you have done this before, you can do it again, and you can keep doing that as well. Did you like that feeling? Yes. Was it fulfilling? Yes. Did you feel awesome? Yes. Then keep at it. Stay awesome. Why not? Okay, then we have, how can you know if it is like too much when you are like overwhelming yourself? Because, I was feeling that already, that when you have so much of the fire thing, then there is that risk of burning out when you actually don't feel like doing much anyway, and you start procrastinating, and you're like, it's too much work, it's too much energy, I can't do that much right now, You do run the risk of that. So let's see. How do you know when it's too much? We have Ace of Cups. We have Death. Okay. That's like the crash and done, Okay, we have 10 of Cups. And we also have the 8 of Wands. Okay, everything will feel rushed. You want to feel better, some of you might be liking this, working every day, kind of staying busy. You like that feeling once you get started, and you like that rush as well. But at the same time, it's kind of a simultaneous thing that things are moving really fast, and you feel like some things will be done a bit hastily. You're still liking the pace, but you physically can't. There is mental exhaustion that's also coming. So even if emotionally you're feeling very satisfied by whatever you're doing, there can be moments, obviously, when you work too hard or too much, too continuously, then that, it kind of, there's that explosion type of thing, like they just big boom, right? It all just collides together and you're like completely exhausted. It's like a firework, basically. It looks like that. It's gorgeous, it's awesome, it's thrilling, it's a lot of fun, but it also like just goes off and it's completely dark, right? That's the feeling that I'm getting. So the moment you feel that everything is moving really fast and you are wanting to go faster and faster and you want to be really thrilled and very adventurous, it's time to kind of hang back a little bit. It might be tough, but now that you're aware of it, you can catch yourself, right? It is, again, even this can be done one step at a time. Each time you catch yourself, bring yourself back. Try and try and try, okay? It doesn't mean that you will perfect it the first time itself. It's just a process. We learn through a process. But it is important to know, because death is like really like burnout. There can be that, I did enough of that, now I won't touch it ever again, right? You don't want to exhaust yourself to that level where you don't even feel inspired about that task or the work that you're doing, or about yourself, or just about anything. You don't want to go from 100 to 0. Yeah? So maintaining at 80, 70 is probably a good idea. You can keep feeling good about yourself. You can feel fulfilled and very happy and also excited, but you don't need to push yourself to that much of a thing. It does happen, right? You don't work out at all, and then some people, once they start working out, they really love it, and they kind of keep doing that. They get even more and more and more into it until there comes a point where they can't talk about anything else except that. And they don't actually have too much of the personal life, emotional development either. And at a later stage, they're all like, oh well, why did I do all of that anyway? Right? It happens. Can't happen. Different people, different ways of understanding this, but yeah, there is that risk of burning out and not liking the thing anymore because you did too much of it. Okay, so pace yourself. That was the thing. When things are moving too fast, you feel as though things are hasty, stop. Okay? Okay. Then we have, how can you back off and rest a little bit? We have Neptune, dreams, intuition, mysticism, imagination, and delusions. So I'm taking pauses because I have to refer to my book. I did this in a spread type of situation, and each thing has a different question. I did not memorize all of them, so I have to take a look a little bit. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, we have Guardian of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. We have the Guardian of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Pentacles, so 2 queens. And we have the Knight of Wands. Oh, wow, okay. And we have the 3 of Cups. So wonderful. Okay. For some of you, this is meditating, connecting with your higher self. It depends how spiritual you are, but ultimately it is taking care of your emotional well-being. Taking a chill pill, okay? Take a chill pill. Ground yourself, go out, take a walk, go to the forest or the park or to the river, take a bath there, whatever suits you, wherever you are, do something that just relaxes you. That's it. Only relaxes you. For some people, it can be taking an unexpected trip. Like today, all of a sudden you wake up and you feel like you want to, go travel for like an hour, get to this awesome place and just be. And that itself, that spontaneity, is something that wakes you up and revitalizes you, right? So that is a way that you can back off from work, back off from the tasks and the productivity, and you can rest. So when things are moving too fast in terms of the work and the things that you need to do, and you're perhaps making mistakes, even if you like what you're doing, it is important to always take a pause and take a break, because it kind of refreshes your mind and you don't keep doing the same things that you were doing again and again and again. It gives you a different perspective on things. Speaking of perspective, there is Neptune here. Neptune associated with Pisces, Pisces being water sign, very connected with spirituality and emotional well-being. It gives you a broader perspective. It's always broad, all encompassing. The two queens as well, it's kind of making the space, it's building a mindset and creating more space actually, so that you can give birth to your more masculine side of doing stuff, of action orientedness, right? When things are in their place, your desk is set up, it's neat, you have your chair, you can just sit and get started. The moment you have inspiration, you can sit and get started. But if you are not like that, you first have to clear things out, and by the time you're done, it's like, yeah, well, done enough today, I'll take care of the rest tomorrow. So basically you didn't do what you wanted to do. So the queens here are like, you don't need to work all the time, just maybe clear things. If you are the type who needs to do something, then maybe make the space, create a nice area for yourself to work in next time. Just make it look pretty, make it look aesthetic. What makes you just visually, what makes you feel really calm, and just drop down and be and chill, kind of like that. For some people it is outside, for some people it is inside, right? Three of Cups is about spending time with your friends, your quality friends, okay? Just chill, have a nice time, go out for camping or take a walk or just be together, do whatever it is that you guys do and talk about stuff. There can be some laughs and fun and adventurous trips with them, taking a walk with them. But also it's very specific about the type of friends that you interact with. It's not just anyone. It is really maybe one person that you are really seriously, friends with, or maximum 2 or 3, whatever. Just basically you have that type of bond, and everyone has that type of bond when you can all just be together. You all are comfortable, where silence is comfortable, where you can talk about anything and everything and everyone's just fine with it. Everyone can feel really good. Those type of people, spend time with them. That's a very awesome way to unwind and relax. Let your imagination loose with the queens here, Queen of Cups especially. Imagine, daydream, just float and be, and just kind of enjoy that you are here experiencing all of this. Just appreciate that you can experience all of these awesome things that are there on earth, right, in your surroundings. Just appreciate for right now. Okay, so that can only happen when you zoom out from the immediate problems. You can see the people you have, the type of food you have, the place you live in, the everything, just about everything. And when you zoom out a bit, the problems that you have on a regular basis don't seem like a mountain, right? They're just another thing that's happening. And you will surpass them. Of course you will surpass them. It's never, you don't get too much that you cannot handle. And that's something you realize when you step back as well. And you see as well how much you have paced yourself. What is still exciting you? Are you still inspired? Because you cannot let that energy level drop. But it's something to, nourish yourself. Queens, making space. All about making space. My aunt told me this. It's like if a house has a lot of empty vases, it's just a matter of time that they will all be filled with flowers or something, a plant or something. It's just a matter of time. But what you did was create a space. Next time someone visits, they see that, oh hey, you have a nice vase. They'll just bring a flower. It's something that kind of stays in the mind. The mind registers all of this. What can you fit here? What can you add here? What can you do there? So make that zone for yourself. Okay? Alright. So now we'll move on to the final Oh my god, this is such a big video. Okay, final advice and messages. Fall in love with your own story. Hey, yeah. So bright, so awesome. Oh, get back to elemental. Get back to your basics, your roots. Connect with water, earth, fire, and air. This is all about, again, being mindful and very conscious of every little thing that is that is you, basically. Notice things, be aware, see the beauty and even the tough parts. So nice. Just appreciate how far you have come. You have learned a lot. You have grown a lot. You've transformed a lot. And there's, plenty of, ups, downs, excitement. There's a lot of things that have already happened in your own story. And it's important to acknowledge them because you became today who you are because of how you were before, the things that have happened since then, the way you reacted to them. And by appreciating that, you can really do something about what you make tomorrow. Right? Okay. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Yeah. It's again like you don't feel so harsh about anything else outside of you because, you're fine. You're doing fine and you're bright and very vibrant and you have a lot of dreams and things you want to achieve and you do have the energy level. It's just about, channeling it. Right? It's all about channeling it. I'm not surprised that we spent the most time with how to stay focused. But yeah, that's something there. You can just look at it and you can, this can be used as an affirmation as well, this deck. So you can use that as well. But we already talked about intention, saying it out loud and kind of remembering where is it that you want to go and being very serious about it. If something is not speaking true to you, leave it, not drop it immediately. No, it depends what the question or the situation is. But if a certain dream is not really yours, then there is no point in chasing it, realizing that it's not yours anyway, and then feeling bad about everything. It's just a whole loop and cycle of hurting yourself, and nobody needs that. Right? Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pile 1. I hope this helped, and I hope you enjoyed as well. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want a personal reading, you can always contact me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. Feel free to check out any of my other work. There are plenty of videos on my channel. So yeah, I hope something else as well helps you out. Until next time, take care. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to find out how you can be more productive, stay more focused, get more stuff done, and overall just better your life. So we have the Empress here. That's awesome. I guess a lot of you are very creative or want to get involved in something more creative, artistic, something that fuels your imagination or puts your imagination to work. Where you're flowing, where you're intuitive, where you're feeling really nice, overall, the state of blissfulness, and so on and so forth. So this is something that you need to create more of during your day. Every single day, some element of this which kind of makes you feel nurtured, makes you feel colorful, colorful, complete, vibrant, just in love with what it is that you are doing and in love with you as well for doing it. Right? So that's something that can really fuel you. Also, again, if you have some artistic talents that you want to get to, it's kind of just suggesting that doing some of that is obviously going to make you feel a lot more productive, but it is important to do something every day. Whether this is talking about painting, drawing, sketching, dancing, singing, anything at all that just is about expressing yourself, just being you and watching yourself unfold, and kind of noticing as well how you used to express, how you used to, draw, paint, etc. a few years ago or something, versus how you do it now, and what does that say about your own evolution as well, because this is a lot about growth and coming to a mature state where you're ready to publish your work, for example, or you're ready to show it to people, or it becomes something where it is worth keeping as a testament to what you can achieve. Okay, so having that type of motivation or having that type of goal, and overall creating a very fulfilling state of being. It's very being. Whenever there is a feminine vibe, there is always just you are. You are, and whatever you are is enough. Okay, feeling that is extremely important. So yeah, take a look at what can make you feel that way. We also have the loon, so pay attention to your dream time. Messages of guidance are drifting in. So some of you can, start painting your dreams, for example. Right? Or this is also talking about what do you dream of having in your life, just consciously when you're daydreaming. What is it that your imagination creates? Do you see a lot of colors when you close your eyes, or do you see a lot of shapes? What is it and how is it that your mind thinks, and how can you put that into a physical, tangible thing outside of your mind as well? So that can be something of a trigger. You use that, channel that, and then the ball starts rolling, and then you get to other things as well. So kind of pay attention to these things rather than have them pass by. Yeah, that's something I'm getting. For more intuitive and very emotional, spiritually connected people, this is more about listen, really, make a vow to listen to your dreams, and whatever comes in that, it will have a specific message for you as well. This is, I think, for people who are really, really, really wanting to be more productive. In that case, kind of the spirit is saying that there is guidance, there are messages, you're just not listening, so it's time to pay attention to those things, and bring those symbolism of the dreams to some really workable solutions for your day-to-day issues. Okay, and obviously that is going to be specific for each and every one of you, so that is not an information that I can give you, it's something that you have to go through. Okay, we also have the owl. Your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. Yeah, it looks like you already feel it. You already think about it, and kind of you're drawn towards it a lot, even if this is something that you have not tried ever before, and all of a sudden one fine day you want to learn to play an instrument. This owl is saying, yeah, you feel it, just go ahead and do it. You don't need to analyze it too much. You don't have to think about, oh, what can happen, how can I fit. You don't have to think too much about the technicalities of things. Just go do it. Go do it. Just be in that happy state, be in that full, complete state like the Empress is. Just that, that feeling kind of energizes you more and keeps you pushing forward. It keeps you motivated. That's something you want to uphold. But before you can uphold something, you need to create it, right? So this is something about creating that vibe and that space for yourself so that you can move forward with the actual productivity tasks getting done part. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next questions. We'll see how you can stay focused at the tasks that you have. We have the 7 of Swords. We also have the Magician, which is the ultimate creator, isn't it? And we also have Feed Your Artist. Okay, so a lot of creatives over here. Yeah, so the Magician is very actively using all of the resources that you have at hand and creating something out of it, which at the end of the creation looks like magic. But you're using very basic things, right? So, for example, you want to paint, but you don't have a good brush, or you don't have all these different technique stuff that, your mind produces. There are very quirky and interesting ways that you can actually go about using everyday items to create that type of art. And even that process of trying to find your resources, that as well can enhance your creativity so much, right? Seven of Swords is kind of, you look like everyone else, yes, but your path is so quirky. You follow your own definition. You have your own way of doing things. You don't have to follow the prescribed way of going about stuff. You don't have to buy like hundreds and thousands of money worth of everything and then make it all up into a mountain, and then it seems very unsurpassable, right? You don't have to do that. Just be very strategic and smart in these cases, and just make a makeshift bowl of something. And I saw very recently, there was a YouTube suggestion itself, which was like painting with aluminum foil, right? I mean, you would not think of using that, but people used it, and it turns out to give a very interesting structure. Maybe that is something you're into. You can use random sticks or toothpicks that you have, earbuds, cotton balls. You can use just about anything. And even musical instruments. There are so many apps now where you can actually get familiar with everything, and you can see for yourself if it is already your cup of tea or not. If it is, and you can really see how much you want to get invested in that particular instrument. If it's not, you can drop it there, try something else. The very least that happened is you learned something, you experienced something, and that experience itself makes you feel good. Nobody is asking you that if you play the guitar today, you have to be a guitarist tomorrow. That's not an obligation at all. It's just using things and recognizing things at your disposal and getting really creative with them. Okay? Doing things your way is going to make you feel more awake, more alive, and more fulfilled in general, which allows you to do more things. You take more initiative in all other areas of life, and you can understand things in a very different way. The reality that a technical education experiences versus what a creative education experiences is wildly different. The way they solve problems is completely different because your brain works differently. So regardless of what your background is, it doesn't matter, because everyone needs to learn from each other. We need to encompass all these different qualities. Everyone has different strengths, and we can embody all of those things by learning from each other. So this is one of those moments where you can really think in a very quirky way. You can think differently, think strategically, think smart, take initiative, Wow. So nice to, see that it's very different from pile 1. So I like it when it changes quite a bit. It also encourages me to think and interpret the same symbolism in very different ways. So I'm loving it, and I hope you are too. Obviously. Okay, anyway, getting back to this. Yeah. So that is how you can stay focused, because you're always interested, you're always thinking, okay, what can I do for this? You don't need to have everything arranged and just look at things and then feel like, okay, I have to do that. There's so much to do, and then there are like 100 million steps to be followed in order to get to the final goal. Let it, you don't have to there is no obligation here. You cannot flow when you oblige yourself to a set thing. You can't set things, okay? You need to go with it and learn as you go as well. Innovate as you go. Figure things out as and when the situation arrives, and have a very keen observation so that you can figure out when you're stuck, what the best solution can be for that situation, right? The thinking creatively, but also thinking on your feet. That's something that will always keep you up, keep you aware, keep you perceptive, and naturally these are skills, right? Regardless of what you do, these are skills, and these same skills can be translated in many different areas of your life. So you become productive as a person. such an interesting perspective. Nice. Okay. How can you know if it's the right time for a task? We have Neptune. Dreams, intuition, mysticism, imagination, and delusions. Okay. We also have the Three of Cups, and we have the Five of Wands. So you might find yourself getting into a lot of arguments with yourself, with your own head. You feel cluttered and muddy in your own thought process. You might fight with your close friends and people as well. And this is because you're not feeling good about yourself in general, okay? It's kind of like if you are not happy, you cannot live happily with other people. It just happens like that, you know? Self-fulfillment is like, and self-stability also, is so inherent to having and maintaining good relationships with even strangers, you know? And of course, it is even more amplified the closer the relationship. You feel it immediately, knowing and seeing how you reflect yourself or you project yourself onto other people. You find yourself more cluttered overall, and you know the moment you feel that it is time to do something that gets you back into this creative state, into feeling more intuitive, into realizing more of your dreams, you know, to start imagining again, to think differently again, to see what more different can you do. Because the solutions that you discover at a certain point, once you do them and practice them and hone them enough, it becomes a habit and you don't need to think about it actively. So then there is that transition phase, that limbo state where you don't think so much, or you don't plan so much, or you don't exercise your creativity too much. Then it's time to, you know, find a new challenge, find another obstacle that you need to basically resolve very, very creatively. Meet different people, try to interact with the same people in a very different way. Maybe talk about your conflicts. These are some ideas that I'm just throwing at you. Apply whatever you feel is right for you, because there's a lot about your own intuition. You have a very strong feminine energy that embodies you. That doesn't mean you're a girl necessarily, but regardless of your gender, it's just saying that the quality, the state of being, flowing, artistry, nourishment, fulfillment, these things are important to you. Having good emotional states of well-being is extremely important to you. And the moment you feel off, you'll just feel muddy, confused, and conflicted overall. You might find yourself, you know, just going, yeah, but this, yeah, but that, yeah, but this, but there will be like 10 other reasons why you cannot do a certain thing, and you will not be able to act on that one single reason why you should do a certain thing, right? But the moment you feel that, you know, blocks just kind of coming at you all over the place, it's really time to start thinking differently, okay? Great. Next. How can you get to all the things you want to achieve in a day? Wow, you are epic. Well, that's a boost. You also have Soul on Fire. Okay, and we have the Explorer of Pentacles, which is also the Knight of Pentacles. It's just called Explorer in this thing because the Explorer doesn't know each and everything that is there to know. It is again learning as it goes, one step at a time. Slow and steady wins the race, and he will get to the goal. This bear in this symbolism will get to the goal. It is slow, yeah, sure, it doesn't move very fast, but it doesn't need to, because the only thing that it cares about is to reach a certain goal. It's not looking at like 10 years from now. It is looking at what it needs to do today, what it needs to do tomorrow, and then the third day. But it knows that by doing one thing every single day, feeding the artist every single day, setting your soul on fire, and making yourself feel good every single day in small little packets, you know, it's just the little things that make a massive difference, right? In yourself, in the way that you feel about you, and that kind of projects outward as well. In the work that you do, you can say that, you know what, I did good over there. If you're very honest, if you're not too critical, then you can give yourself credit for a job well done. But that does not mean you sit back and relax and feel like you are the king already. No, there's a long way to go, but you're loving every step of the way, right? So you need to add a bit of fun in everything that you are basically trying to do. Even if it's a chore, perhaps you listen to a podcast while you are doing this thing, or listen to some music, play some nice beats, or whatever it is that, makes you feel so good and alive and rejuvenated again, makes you feel bright and like you did something, even if you weren't really doing a lot. That's something that you need to think about that. This is a topic where you kind of have to think about it yourself, but it's such an important inclusion in just our daily life and the well-being that we have mentally, emotionally, and also physically. For some of you, this can also be like if you're like exercising, then you can try out different exercises as well. Perhaps you can mix things up too. Yoga, for example, is a lot about flow. That can be something that is interesting for you, but you add a little bit more complexity to it, and you have Pilates, right? That's a completely different thing. So go around, experiment, see what works for you. It's a lot about that. The magician is very experimental as well, kind of sees and tinkers with things and sees how they fit and work together. What resource and how much quantity is going to create the maximum abundance, and it also makes sure that it is sustainable. You can keep doing it. You can keep on having fun with it. What is that something? What puts you on fire? Okay, let's read the book a bit, just in case I missed anything. But I like it. It's a different interpretation. Okay. Your epic life. Can you see it yet? It's just over the horizon, and you are at a point where you have the wisdom and the experience to make it happen. Your stamina and hard work are paying off, and you are being called to bring order from any chaos you've been experiencing. It's time to take the leadership role at the helm of your life and navigate confidently into areas that you haven't explored yet. You are ready to handle it. Be strategic as you plan your route, and as you build your future, know that your guides and angels are supporting the evolution of this dream. The universe is offering you a chance to steer toward the epic success that you've been imagining. So trust in the foundation you are building. Exactly. Wow, love it. An empire of love and light surrounds you. You are never alone, so don't allow this opportunity to be befuddled by doubt, frustration, or fear. Dig in with the determination and head into a new phase of prosperity and growth. The seed of life in this card is bursting open and showing the way. What seeds did you plant that have yet to bloom? What gifts are on the way? What do you need to let go of in order to open the gates of your epic life? Doubt, fear, shame, a shoulda, woulda, coulda? What needs to happen so that you are able to receive the epic success that the universe is offering? Then we move on to Soul on Fire. Okay. Fearlessly pursue that which sets your soul ablaze. Soul on Fire is an exhilarating state. It's impulsive, it's catchy. It is the one tunnel vision option that lies ahead of you that you absolutely cannot stop thinking about. It's passionately obsessive and thrilling, and it's always filled with warm spirals of escalating energy. What do you see when you look at your tomorrow? Does it reverberate excitement? Is there fire energy there? If there isn't, you may be running after empty substitutes for your dream, and it's time to find true zest for your journey. When you make the decision to expand your life this way, the shift can happen quickly. Souls ablaze are magnetic and have a way of making huge changes in short spurts. Extraordinary experiences are built from within ordinary, everyday lives. Told you, lovely. I love it when it matches up with the book. You have everything you need to find this spark of fascination for your journey. How could you expand your current reality so that it would be big enough to house your dream? Cut through the nonsense and the mad babble you've been using to market or describe yourself. Stop trying to dazzle with expert lingo or fancy systems. Drop the facade. Sell them passion, your fire, your dream. If you could bring more infectious enthusiasm to your goal and talk about it from a place of pure passion, what would you say? Whew. So energizing. It's very nice. It's doing things that you just love, even if it's one thing a day. It's enough. You know? It really is enough. Just try it out. So nice. Okay. How can you know when it is too much? We have the Queen of Wands. Where can I put this? I'll just put that here. We also have the Six of Cups. We have Temperance. And we have Four of Wands. Feeling a few things. One is you might get moody or mood swings. Okay? You might find yourself revisiting old patterns, old people, even the toxic ones, and reliving that, and then simultaneously trying to find a way to escape feeling that way. There is that feeling of overcompensating as well. So it's too much when you feel all of these things. A lot more happens. A lot more is happening, and it gets a little bit chaotic, and kind of, you don't know, you can't figure it out. It's not flowing, but it is still, all over the place, and you want to just, drop all of it and just go have fun and, just be with people, kind of distract yourself from these constantly running thoughts, or these constantly oscillating moods, okay? That is when it is a bit too much for you to handle. Okay, so how can you back off and rest then? We have the Three of Swords. We have Explorer of Wands, which is Knight of Wands. And we have the Queen of Cups, or the Guardian of Cups. So this is about feeling the feelings. Break it down. How can you do that? Is by reaching a meditative state. Okay, you can use some meditative music, some subliminals. Some people have those meditation subliminals, right? You can try those, but even without any assistance, perhaps you pray, and right after praying, there is that moment of silence. Kind of sit in that silence for a bit longer and stay in that very Zen state. Okay, create a calm Zen environment for yourself and feel the feelings. If you feel like crying, go ahead and just cry. You don't have to put on a facade with yourself, though. You can't lie to you, right? Even the people in denial know that they are in denial, but they don't want to admit it. That it doesn't mean that they don't know. Yeah, at least for a lot. Unless it becomes like a psychological problem, and that's a different story. But here it is saying, feel your feelings. If you feel heartbroken about something that has happened in the past, let it out. The more you stifle it, the more you keep it in, it stays inside. If it stays inside, the fire that you can have, the happiness you can feel, the flow that you can experience cannot. Right? You can do and have this magical life story that you are dreaming about or you're imagining. It is possible, but you need to, because you seem emotional, intuitive, you seem, a lot of you are also spiritually connected. The little things also affect you, right? That you feel the sadness as well. You feel the loneliness whenever you do as well, quite a bit more than people who are not as connected with their emotions. So it is also important to take care of your low sides. If you're feeling very shadowy, dark, kind of down in the dumps, it's okay. Everyone has those days. Go ahead, let it out. Okay? If you express it, you can do that just talking it out loud. Some people write, some people, you can create art out of that and kind of let it go, let it out. Basically, that's what it is saying. Okay, whenever you feel overwhelmed by the work or by the amount of tasks that you need to do, just sit back, and if you honestly feel like it's too much, then for you to handle emotion, because there's nothing that you cannot handle physically, and if you know that it cannot fit into your schedule or your day or your routine, then you can just take that little bit of a risk and be like, no, I'm not gonna do this one today, because you honestly cannot. And for that, you cannot beat yourself up, right? If you just can't, you can't. That's all. That's the end of the story. It's fine. You don't have to feel guilty about that, right? But if you feel like emotionally sad about something that has happened in the past and kind of keeps coming back, and you're trying to distract on a normal basis, this here is saying you cannot distract, you need to feel it. Okay? Because otherwise it stays, the cycle keeps continuing, and your level of productivity always is brought down on a regular basis. Nobody wants that, right? Okay. Doing something adventurous, doing something spontaneous as well is awesome. Again, not to distract, but to, like if you don't have a reason and you're just feeling low for no reason, you don't have a specific thought that is happening, not even while you're meditating or after meditation either, then it's just meaning that, you want something more. What can be something unexpected that excites you? It looks like you're fine with that, right? So something unexpected, something exciting, something spontaneous. It can be a short distance travel as well. You can take a walk, a run, cycle, or drive, or whatever. Because it does talk about taking certain trips and exploring something that is exciting for you. Okay, now we'll see some final words and messages for you, certain suggestions and advice as well with regards to your productivity. We have find your sacred flow. There you go. And we have what does your soul say? Yeah, it's kind of, there's so much about soul that it's asking you to be like bare honest with each other. Strip back, keep stripping back. Peel off all the layers and the facades that you have put on. I should say this, I should be like this, I should be doing this, I could have done this, etc., etc. That's like, you're reacting to the set ways of the recipe that everyone has kind of told you that, this is how things are done. That's what it is saying here. You don't need to stay in the whole, societally approved method of doing everything. You can do something differently. So what does your soul say? Your soul is unique to you. No one else can answer for you, right? So when you start being very, very honest with yourself, it just becomes very contagious because you're expressing yourself a lot more because you know what to express. You know who you are and how can you best express yourself. That's what we are, right? We always try to express us in either a damaged way or in a non-damaged way. Either way, we're always trying to express ourselves. So this here is asking you to drop all the masks that you have put on or put on when you are, feeling a little bit low and down. It's not doing you any good, and you need to flow with things. In order to flow, you need to remove the obstacles as and when you encounter them as well. That's how you become aligned to what that means is just you feel good. You're aware of your mood, you're aware of when you work well, when you don't work well, who fits into your life, who does not fit into your life, when is the time for what, basically, right? So awareness is important there. And we have fill your cup with sacred giggles. So don't forget to have fun. Be happy, smile, very energetic and bubbly and light here. Even the suggestion, it's very the Knight of Wands, basically. Yeah, Queen of Cups is extremely this find your sacred flow, and we also have a lot of the feminine vibes anyway. Okay, and the last one, the universe has my back. This can be used as an affirmation as well. But yeah, this is just re-emphasizing that you are supported and you have a lot of support from yourself, but also from the universe itself, because you magnetize what you intend towards, what you work towards. When you have actions backing up your beliefs, your intentions, your emotions, everything, when you have that action as well, the universe can't help but, help you out. It's like, okay, well, you did everything, basically, so there you go. Have your reward. Feel good. Have fun. Enjoy. Again, it is about staying connected as well. We have the moon. Moon is very intuitive. Again, the feminine, the mother figure, that's what's associated with that. Also intuition. So connecting, maybe working in the night is something that you do really well. Or if you don't know about it, then it's time to figure that out as well. Right? Okay, we'll read from the book for these and then we are done. We have 12 and 21. So how you are feeling within is reflected how you perceive things and how you feel things from the external surroundings as well. Okay. Find your sacred flow. Your sacred flow. Each one of those words is powerful medicine for your creator spirit. Tune into your own rhythm and actively schedule your own unique sacred flow into your life every day. This may mean stopping to nap, exercise, or meditate during the day if that is what makes your heart sing. It may mean scheduling something sacred into your planner, something epic even. You already had. You are epic, so you're making yourself a priority in this case. Some of you might be, the problem with flowing, the people who are very comfortable with going with the flow and very creative and emotionally tuned, is that you're also so susceptible to distractions. And it's important to recognize when that is, something is not your flow and you've just absorbed it from someone you met yesterday. It's important to isolate these things. Different people function in different ways, so take it as it resonates, but that is something as well that came through. I forgot to mention, but yeah, it's good that the book reminded me. Okay. What makes you feel alive and in flow with the world? Are you leaving time for that thing? If something is encroaching on your flow time, you may need to set clear boundaries and prioritize this sacred break. Be sure that you aren't giving up your personal space so that someone else can benefit. There you go. Don't be a martyr. This space is desperately needed for you to find your center. If you are feeling pressure to make an important decision, right now is not the time to give an answer you aren't completely sure of. Go with the flow of not knowing. Sleep on it. Surrender to not having all of the answers and know that everything will be revealed when you gift yourself the space of distance, stillness, and perspective. When have you lost yourself in doing instead of thinking? What activity has made you get into that flowing state of zen and just being? We just mentioned zen and being. Wow, okay. How do you get into that sacred zone? That place where time stands still and everything else fades away. If you were to flip your opinion on its head, what perspective would you be gifted? Lovely. 21. Okay. Fill your cups with sacred giggles. We're doing this one. Yep, giggles. Childlike? Maybe. But there's deep magic to be tapped into here. So give them space to bubble up. You are entering a time of completion as a goal you have been working on is coming to a joyous and prosperous end. This is kind of as a prediction thing. So if you're working on something very creative and it's kind of the last push and you're struggling to, keep that momentum going, this is kind of like you're almost there. Just keep at it. And have fun, have fun. Okay. This huge accomplishment will have massive implications moving forward, and the whole world is opening up for you now. Go you. Dip your cup into the well of sacred giggles and drink up. It's time to revel in the afterglow of closure and success, and know that you deserve all of the joyful prosperity that is coming your way. There is infinite potential on the horizon, so take time to do your success dance and to thank Spirit for getting you this far. I like the infinite potential on the horizon because that also applies for people who haven't started yet. And it's just like because you're starting out, there's like so much more that can happen and you can do. And it's like a whole world of possibilities, right? It's so childlike and surprising and unexpected. And you just, what else? What else? What else can come here? What else can I learn? Oh, what is that? What is this? That very open-minded curiosity and the excitement to go rushing into everything and just learn just everything and do everything at once, and just enjoy it all. That's the type of vibe of this card. Okay. This is not a time to play small and act as if it were nothing. Be proud of your accomplishments, as this is a time to say, heck yes, that was massive and I rocked it. Accept this celebratory love wholeheartedly and keep your eyes on the horizon for much more of this energy as you ascend anew. Look back on the past few years and notice how far you have come. What have you accomplished? What is the most important thing you've learned? You may feel called to travel. This card says it's possible. How can you build your dream in a way that will also bring that travel aspiration to life? Then we have, what does your soul say? Your soul knows. It always does. Take some time to tune in and journal, meditate, listen, and translate. You already know what you want, so go for it. If you desire a specific future for yourself, it's because it is 100% possible for you to achieve it. I told you. I love it when it matches with the book. Okay. Your desire is an indicator of what you can achieve when you set your heart and mind to it. It's time to go get that dangling carrot you've been dreaming about and to ask yourself why you have been hesitating. What's stopping you from building the life you crave? This card indicates success at the end of a long journey. Yeah. Take that. Take what everyone else wants out of the equation, because this is all about what you want. We talked about that in the Seven of Swords. Right now, you need to be a little bit greedy, a little bit egocentric, more than a tiny bit focused on your needs. It's okay. You spend so much time focused on everyone else that you may need to tune it out for a few hours in order to really tune into yourself. When you listen to the whispers of your beautiful soul, what does it say to your heart? Are you focusing on the positive and what you have, or are you focusing on what you don't have? Are you busy with hard work, or are you doing easy work that you love? Are you running away from a life you don't want, or are you running toward the dream that you do want? What's your primary motivation? What say you, soul? How fitting and a very nice way to close the reading. So I wish you all the very best. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will be super happy to help you out. Feel free to check out some of my work. You can see a lot of videos on my channel. So yeah, if you are inclined to do so, go ahead. And I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's find out how you can be more productive with your everyday life and also some specific tasks that you might have in mind. Okay, so we have first the 10 of Wands. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles. And we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. One way that you can ensure that you are like maximally, is that a word? Maximally productive is by working in teams. You know, that cooperative vibe is something that can really help you kind of get your ideas going as well, and also can be further encouragement for you to really put your own ideas and your own inspirations, the things that you actually want to create in your life, to practice. Okay, so even if you're not a fantastic team player, or you don't really prefer to work in a team, doing so can really help you understand a lot of your strengths and also kind of teach you how to distribute the different subtopics or the subtasks that are there in any major goal that you're trying to achieve, or any practice that you're trying to incorporate into your daily life. So if you are someone who takes a lot on your plate and you don't really you struggle to finish all of it, and even if you do complete all the tasks, you are feeling really overwhelmed, for example, it feels as though the road was so long. It doesn't have to be like that, which is why this 3 of Pentacles is basically the central card here, right? So whether you want to achieve something that fulfills you, or you want to shed away some extra burdens, in all cases cooperation or cooperative vibes with some people is going to be very helpful for you. Okay, so that's something there. Okay, let's see more cards. We have Pheasant. The time is ripe for creation and connection. Focus your attention in these areas. That's literally what we were talking about. That's very nice. But, it's all about making genuine connections. It's not just, work with anybody. Nobody is suggesting that, you work with people that you don't gel with, or, you must have some similar interests at the very least, right? The Three of Pentacles comes together with very like-minded people who can form a real community and make a difference in their individual lives, but also together. So that's the kind of dream team that you need to be looking for. Okay, then we have inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth. That's interesting because the Queen of Cups does talk about, connecting with your own intuition, your higher self, being more compassionate and empathetic with other people. That can be something that really helps you understand other people, but also your individual self as well. Therefore, making it even easier for you to really understand what is of solid meaning to you, whereas what is something that you have just been carrying on because, whatever reason, parents told you it's the right thing to do, or society told you this is how it is, or some other certain type of pressure. Right? But you don't need to keep carrying the same weight all over again, and your soul is not someone who wants to lug around plenty of baggage. That's not what spirits do. They just want to be free and be themselves, right? So it's as though your own spirit is trying to connect with you and kind of tell you and guide you towards a certain path. And perhaps you might be better able to understand it and direct yourself if you come into, collaboration with certain people with whom you share at least some vague interests or even hobbies, right? So this is a bit of an encouragement for all of you. Okay. I hope it's not too specific. I don't know, but this is something that is really pronounced here. So if you're not resonating with this whole idea, then maybe pick another pile. If not, that's completely fine. Don't force it to fit. Every reading is not for every single person, right? So it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Next we have Ace of Swords. This is about how can you, keep focus. We have the Devil. We have the Ace of Cups, 2 aces. Cut the cords of doubt. Wow, that's straightforward. And we also have the Sacred Flow of Yes. This is just absolutely neat. So neat. Because the Devil is signifying your doubts, you're self-restrained, you give in to your own fears and insecurities. There are like what ifs, a lot of what ifs. And it is true, no one's saying that your concerns are not legitimate. Yes, but the point is you pierce through them. There is no such doubt that can hold you back so far that you cannot explore something. If something does not work out, it's fine. You don't have to dive completely deep into something brand new if that's the risk that you're worried about. It's just, See, for example, you might really struggle with, you start something, but then you give up on it because it's going nowhere, or I don't know where I'm going with this, or who am I kidding? I cannot be a pro at this. Something along those lines. That's just you pulling you down. That's the basic point. And I love that there are 2 aces which signify initiative. Take the first step. Pierce through it. At least start. Begin first. Say yes to new opportunities, to new ideas, to yourself, to your own fulfillment, your own ideas, your own logic. Just see where it takes you. There we have the flow here, and we have Ace of Cups. It's just complete potential here. Everything that makes you happy is in this cup. It's just overflowing, and it can take the shape of any emotion that you plan for it. But also, if you do not plan for something, it's just going to flow. And all you need to do is orient yourself towards how you want to feel. How do you want to feel from doing something? It doesn't have to be perfect, It doesn't have to be perfect. Just flow with it. Perfection was not built in a day, right? Even if you are striving for perfection in a certain field, fine. That's your choice. That is completely, that's something you want, right? That's okay. But expecting that the first time itself you are going to be perfect is kind of unreasonable to demand from you, right? That's, you're putting that pressure on you. That responsibility is laying so heavy that sometimes you're not even able to start. And even if you start, you're not able to continue. Yeah? So, cut the cords of doubt that hold you back, and you fly, you flourish. And then there is like a whole bunch of experiences that are there in the potential, because aces are just the beginning, right? Use your intellect, use your reasoning, and of course follow your heart. Okay, that will guide you out of this devil's state, okay? Because really nothing is holding you back. It's a whole bunch of illusions. There is still light here, but of course, if you keep paying attention to these, each and individual tree here, which are cast in shadow, then you can definitely stay stuck here. But if you focus on this light here, you will get out of here, right? You will get out of this state of doubt. So, okay, looks like that was the reasoning behind why you're not able to focus. So it's just basically more and more motivation for you to just follow it. Okay, how can you know when it's a right time for the task? We have 6 of Cups. We also have the Chariot. We have the 10 of Cups. And we have the 9th house. Lovely. So I'm guessing that a lot of you have been wanting to do this since a while. For some of you, this goes back into your childhood. Perhaps it's an unrealized childhood dream that kind of got left behind when you had to, step up and, take care of responsibilities and stuff like that. But the right time is now, really. Like, get going, get going. Experience your real happiness. What makes you feel like rainbows and sunshine? It doesn't have to be perfect on the first day. It's just that you like doing something. You like learning something. And no, you know what? It is not going to be easy. But you will make it. Each and every obstacle, each and every challenge, it will teach you something, and you will come out of it. You will face all of them, and you will be stronger and better and more knowledgeable, more experienced, which, just takes you one step closer to that perfectionist goal, or that final destination feeling that, hey, I've made it now. There is so much guidance. 9th house is all about spirituality and religion as well. Also about higher education. So if you're wanting to go somewhere else, perhaps travel someplace and, experience this whole new world, make some foreign contacts, new friends, new community, new whole understanding and higher learning overall, it's just go for it. Just go. I feel like the right time is right now. I feel like you have been given quite a few signs, and Spirit is not gonna stop. It will keep asking you again and again to follow through. Okay? How can you get to all the things you want to during the day? Okay, we have Child of Swords, which is also the Page of Swords, and we have the Moon. Okay, so if you're okay, this is actually valid for everyone. You might work well at night. Also, this talks about kind of plan your tasks before going to sleep for the next day. And just have like a rough idea. You don't have to put it down in like a duration thing if you're not heavy to-do list user, that's completely fine. But like, okay, I have to go shopping for this, I have to write this report, and I have to send this email or something. Just have a rough idea, because that is going to really help you manage things as and when you start working on those tasks. Because I've noticed that many people are not able to recognize how much time each task might take, but that's because they don't plan and they don't see kind of what things they have to do, what time can they be able to do it, when will they be free to get all of these things done. But when you write it down, or type it, whatever whatever your mode of preference is, but if you write it down or think it through, whatever, or say it out loud even with resolution, then your brain automatically will also try to piece things together, because otherwise it's just dispersed a lot of information and it might feel overwhelming in the first instance, but that's the brain, right? It tries to make sense, so it will figure things out. But yeah, doing that before going to bed is really going to help you out. I don't know why this pile has a lot of like very solid practical advice. The other piles did not so far. I mean, they still had very actionable things, but this is very direct. Nice. Oh, if you do any psychedelic stuff, okay, I'm not encouraging it, but if you already do it and you're kind of used to all that, then this is kind of suggesting that you need to channel that, because you have a lot of insights and a lot of creative imagination that flows through when you use such substances, but you need to make use of it, because otherwise it's just, it's a missed opportunity then, and the Child of Swords really does not like that. And the soul is like, come on, I gave you so many creative ideas, I gave you so much motivation, but you forget all of it, or you're not doing anything about it, you're just staying in your thought process, but you're not taking action, etc. And then the soul kind of gets desperate in itself as well, if you think from the spirit's perspective. But yeah, okay, so this is for the very, I guess, select few of you, but yeah, hopefully it helps. How can you know when it is too much? 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, and the Tower. Okay, so crash and burn, wanting to just quit and just bye-bye. I don't want to work anymore. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going on a holiday. I don't know where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. I'm just going to disappear for a while. That might be your style of, I'm done. It's too much. That overwhelming feeling. So the point is, if you take too much on, then you will also have to take too much off, right? If one extreme exists, the other one will as well. So you will know it is too much when you start to feel as though you want to, go outside, go to the beach, or go to the garden, the forest, kind of take a breather for a little bit. Don't ignore that first instance that you feel that, because if you keep ignoring it, you know where you're headed, right? Feeling a lot of fatigue as well. I'm not going to say lethargy, just, yeah, I'm just done. That's the Tower, right? Nope. No way. Yeah. Kind of when you also start looking for something more, it's just not fulfilling enough in that current moment. Even if you're doing something you absolutely adore, because you're human, you're not perfect, right? There will be times when you're just like, yeah, I know I love this, but sometimes I just wish there was more variety or something. So 3 of Wands is kind of waiting for even better to come, waiting for your manifestations to come in. And 9 of Pentacles is about feeling more and more fulfilled and joyous and staying in the moment. So whenever you are deterring from that state in your day-to-day activity, it's time to kind of bring yourself back to your own equilibrium. If you generally never feel this, then, well, the rest of the reading was for that. It's time to start following that, but yeah, this is kind of a follow-up step, right? Okay. Okay. We have Eight of Pentacles next. Temperance. This is, how do you back off and rest? How can you rest? And also, how do you know that you need to just, let it be without, reaching this point? Okay. We have Nine of Swords. Yeah, you'll start feeling very overwhelmed and anxious, definitely. It's very much in line with this for sure. But you'll start feeling anxious, you'll start overthinking, insomnia, you'll just be completely in hard work mode, and it'll be very hard to, find that middle path. It'll be either too hot or too cold or too tough or too nothing, Yeah, so plenty of oscillation will happen, and yeah, that's when you need to know, just you need to stop, you need to take a holiday or something. We have the Fool. We have Death and Rebirth. Wow, that's interesting. And we have the Moon. So we have the Moon twice. Okay. Again, I'm going to just repeat the psychedelic cues. I'm not recommending it, but if you already do it, you probably know how much you should be using and how much not. The point is, always do everything in moderation. Even if you're staying up at night, there needs to be a moderating element to it. Perhaps you like the, solitude of the night. You get more space to think, right? You get more time to feel things. The reasoning is different for everyone, but the point is that make use of each thing. Dark is not bad. Death is not bad. There is no bad and there is no good. It's just how you make it and how you can, mix and match a lot of these. Mix and not match. What do you call that? Mix and blend. Blend, yes. These two extremes, right? Go outside, take a walk, go for an adventure or something, do something different, just stop, even in the mental state and the emotional state. I know easier said than done, but this is what you need to be striving for, because I feel like you're very, you play hard, you work hard, everything is just black and white. That's okay, but you also need to be aware of the gray area, because temperance is all about the middle path. Staying in balance is going to help you keep going longer and longer and longer. But perhaps for this pile, you have a job requirement or something or the other that kind of keeps you in that, either this or that type of state. But in your general lifestyle, you can always try to find the middle ground, right? That's the suggestion there. But it's very fascinating that there's 3 major arcana already with this tarot and this one as well. That's madness. Perhaps, for some of you, it's also urging you to take a vacation, right now. Just go right now, travel and do something fun, do something adventurous. But simultaneously, keep your awareness active as well. Kind of notice how you are during the break or what you like to do for fun. And if you're struggling to find something that is just for fun, then that's something to really think about and ponder. The moon is also about listening to your intuition, kind of going to your subconscious depths as well, trying to figure stuff out and think things through. You have to feel very deep. Also with the death there, certain past habits, certain past attitudes, they just need to die, because they're not good for you. If you are killing yourself, killing your own spirit and destroying your own will, then there is, what else is left, right? What else is left then? Yeah. Meditation, definitely helpful. Yeah, if you start feeling, anxious and frantic, then take a breather. I know it is not possible every single time, okay? We have obviously a lot of practical constraints, but if you do it once, twice, and thrice, you start learning. Again, the brain starts learning, and the next time a similar situation happens, it becomes instinctual over time. But the first 2 or 3 times you need to, proactively do that. But that's the thing, when a problem is problem enough, you will do something about it, right? That's the point. Maybe I get tired enough that I will take an action. It's something like that. That's why it's like no one can force you to do this, not even your guides or nobody, okay? It's you that is ultimately going to take every action. But also the consequence is going to be impacted towards just you. So keeping the whole thing in mind, it's just see things from a different perspective, get a fresh start. That will help you kind of stay unstuck all the time. You need a breather. It's fine to take a breather. You don't have to carry so much weight on your shoulder. The Fool here is like, drop all burdens. I don't care. Bye-bye. I'm going off on my own trip and I'm just gonna see where I go. There's the sacred flow of yes, right? This is like ultimate letting go and going with the flow, basically. Just trusting the universe that it's just going to take you somewhere and it's going to be fine. Your reading has just been very straight. Okay. Actually, I want to read from the book for you people. For the sacred flow of yes, and the other one. Okay. Have you ever noticed how happy, optimistic people have all the luck? And how the haves keep winning at bingo while the have-nots just keep encountering barrier after unfortunate barrier on their path? Like a stream of helpful energy, the sacred flow of yes is being where you are meant to be. When you are on the right wave, you are on it. You are so completely enveloped in your right vibe that it practically whooshes everything you need right into your lap. It brings a whole lot of easy flow. Yes to a new contract. Yes to a better price. Yes to a dinner date. It's time to act like water and flow around any problems you may be experiencing. You may be forcing your way upstream right now and stubbornly pushing into a dam that's meant to guide you towards a more prosperous path. Since I know you're not a salmon, there's no need to be swimming into headwaters right now. Instead, flow around the gates of not yet by finding the path of least resistance. The sacred flow of yes is like a river, so remember that rocks are only put in your way as markers meant to nudge you toward your simplest solution, not as challenges meant to be dominated or controlled. Is there something you are being stubborn about? What are you forcing instead of going around? What new skills could you acquire to help you level up and get above those barriers? Are you seeing challenges in life as failures when they are really just lessons and guideposts? The universe has a big sacred flow of yes for you. If you could let go of one thing that would make life easier, what would it be? Wow, how beautifully written. Sums up so much and gives you a lot more insight as well. Now cut the cords of doubt. Doubt contained the most beautiful of circumstance, or change a trajectory by keeping it unnaturally constrained. It can be an incessant tether, and it may be getting in the way of something you have been thinking about doing. This card is a wonderful sign to take a risk on your brilliance. Yes, exactly. It assures a journey of success and freedom, and it whispers of pure potential. Aces. Where was I? Whispers of pure potential when you embrace your true nature. Your desire, your essence, is like a phoenix rising from the constraints of its old form, or like an angel rising up to the heavens. When you let go of your anchors and are unbound by the gravity of fear, you will easily see which shackles, habits, or beliefs need to be released first. What is weighing you down, creator love? It's time to let go and release sadness or anger, guilt or shame, and to exhale doubt and inhale love. Spread your wings and glide home, because the whole of the universe supports this radiant rising of your spectacular spirit. This card shows a phoenix rising from the constraints of its old form, an angel rising up to the heavens, or a fake creature who is not bound by the gravity of doubt. What do you see? Okay, let's look at the card. What do you see? And when you get its bird's eye view of your shackles and see exactly which areas of your life weigh you down, which cord needs to be cut first? Okay? Wonderful. Okay, we're getting more advice, further messages as well, so I will read these from the book too. They're new and I've not read the entire book yet. But also, I kind of like reading from the book because it's just so well put, it has taken a while. You can hear it, you can see it visibly, that it has taken a while to put it together so aptly. So I want to do it justice. So I hope you like it too. Anyway, I choose love no matter what. That is following the things that you love. Your own passion, choosing to love yourself rather than doubt yourself and bring yourself down. Love is just, unconditional, it's blissful, it's harmonious, it's a whole state of being, it's not one specific thing. So it just propagates into so much more. It's a very higher vibrational state where you're just aware and you're loving and you're understanding and you're just there. And just being there is enough. Right? What is that thing? When you're staying in that level, everything kind of becomes easier. But reaching this level, that's something that we struggle with, isn't it? But this is again like an affirmation, so it reminds you again and again. You can keep repeating too. You can use it as that. You can already see the card. Okay. Accept and receive. Cozy up with risk. Makes sense. What does your soul say? Isn't that like just summing up the whole thing? You need to go with the flow and kind of accept the things that are coming towards you rather than resisting or self-sabotaging or, just feeling like, hey, I'm not worthy enough to receive that. But if you're receiving it, you're probably worthy. So, just accept it. Because if you're not, you're shutting out your own blessings. Right? That's kind of the gist I'm feeling there. Cozy up with risk is again like take that shot and take that first leap. Take your initiative and kind of go with where your soul is saying basically. The Fool is taking that first leap of faith. There's a whole lot of courage that goes into trusting the unknown. But that's where magic happens. Right? When the old falls away, there is potential for infinite new possibilities, right? What life you build now or next can be literally anything. It's just where do you put your action, where do you put your intention, where do you keep your faith? That is going to determine the type of future that you're shaping for yourself, right? So listening to what your soul says with it, that's pretty direct. Okay, let's read from the book now. It's time to accept and receive, sweet creator. Learn to graciously open up to all of it, the praise and the compliments, love from others, help when it comes, and unusual or unexpected support that confirms the universe is opening up for you. Receive it, you are worthy. Know that it may not look exactly as you imagined it would, but rest assured its arrival is imminent. As you move toward your dream, look for serendipitous encounters with people who already know the way, and remain open to the idea that accepting an imperfect short-term situation is not the same as settling for less than you deserve for the long haul. Sometimes the most potent magic can be found in the unplanned pit stops. When we try to control exactly how the universe delivers our wishes, we can miss the small miracles that arrive in their stead. Be open to receiving remarkable alternatives and suggestions, and an extraordinary outcome that is better than you imagined it could be. Ask yourself, can I do, be, have, love, or live better? Challenge yourself to accept and receive more for your beautiful creator self. What do you need to receive more of in your life? Are you allowing others to help you? That's kind of the teamwork thing. How easy is it for you to reach out and ask for a helping hand? What type of person would you love to meet today, and how could that help you on your journey? Interesting. I like the, finishing questions. Kind of makes you think, sit with them. If you don't know the answers immediately, it's good to know. Okay, cozy up with risk. Risk is inevitable when you are pursuing your dream. So go on, cozy up, and get to know each other. Risk is a little bit like a campfire. Both need to be watched and tended carefully. Neither should be feared, and respect and responsibility are part of the deal, which I'm guessing you've got it covered. And just as a campfire can be a magical catalyst for 100 wonderful stories, risk can be the catalyst for 100 realized dreams. Encountering risk means you are aware, pushing boundaries, and innovating. And you are bravely trying new things, testing ideas, and living. Trust that your reward will be waiting for you when you take your leap of faith, and that you will find your soft landing in love, in your investments, or in your creations. This is a catalyst for something better. You are working toward an extraordinary life, and the only way to arrive passes right by the warm, inevitable glow of the unknown. Are you worrying without any real cause? Are you stressed when things don't go exactly as planned? Are you blowing your risk out of proportion? Are you ruminating over things you cannot change? Are you worrying about something that hasn't happened yet? What area in your life requires a little more trust from you? And now here, what does your soul say? Your soul knows. It always does. Take some time to tune in and journal, meditate, listen, and translate. You already know what you want, so go for it. If you desire a specific future for yourself, it's because it is 100% possible for you to achieve it. Your desire is an indicator of what you can achieve when you set your heart and mind to it. It's time to go get that dangling carrot you've been dreaming about and to ask yourself why you have been hesitating. What's stopping you from building the life you crave? This card indicates success at the end of a long journey. Take what everyone else wants out of the equation, because this is all about what you want. Right now, you need to be a little bit greedy, a little bit egocentric, more than a tiny bit focused on your needs. It's okay. You spend so much time focused on everyone else that you may need to tune it all out for a few hours in order to really tune into yourself. When you listen to the whispers of your beautiful soul, what does it say to your heart? Are you focusing on the positive and what you have, or are you focusing on what you don't have? Are you busy with hard work, or are you doing easy work that you love? Are you running away from a life you don't want, or are you running toward a dream that you do want? What's your primary motivation? What say you, soul? What an awesome way to end this reading. Wow, that's like a lot of thoughtful questions for you guys. I hope that helped. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want a personal reading, you can always connect with me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. Feel free to check out some of my other videos if you're interested, or if you want to take a bit of a breather before you do that, that's fine too. But yeah, I will see you again next time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi Pal 4, welcome to your reading. Let's find out how you can be more productive in your day-to-day life and also in pursuing your goals. Okay, we have the Emperor first. Then we have the Magician. Wow, so 2 major arcana. Okay, so directly this is kind of saying you are in charge of creating your own world. So it is very much up to you, and it is just your responsibility to make it happen. Use every resource you can. There is no procrastination with anything, you know, like you have it, you can do it, it's at your disposal. And keep in mind that what you are doing today and also how you are approaching the certain situation is what is going to manifest your tomorrow as well. With the Emperor, it's just saying that you can top this, you know, you can totally get everything done and you can be on top of the world and feeling just absolutely accomplished, whether it is like a big goal where accomplishment is a serious factor, but also in like certain chores and also how you do them, right? Even if it's as simple as washing the dishes, when you're in a rush, the way that you feel about the whole process is completely different from when you are not in a rush. So how can you create that mindset that you're not in a rush while still doing things just as efficiently, right? Yeah, that's something there. You need to create a certain space, a vibe, a mindset, a type of feeling. And yes, of course, like everyone does not like to do each and every task, but that doesn't mean we still don't have to do them. But we don't have to keep feeling bad about it again and again and again, right? But again, it kind of depends on what you're asking. Because if this is something related to how can I complete all the jobs, all the tasks that I have in my job, even though I don't like it type of scenario, then this can be talking about, you know, becoming your own boss. And it's not going to happen overnight, of course not, but today is something that is creating your tomorrow. So are you actually serious about it or not? Both of them, the Emperor at least, is very black and white, right? I want this, I will have this. Very direct and just sure of what he wants. He's very assertive with himself. That's why he expects the same thing from the outside, right? So that's a type of spirit that you need to embody, okay? And you can make it happen. You can manifest that type of personality within yourself if that is something that you are dreaming about. Yeah, and also if not like boss of a company or something, you can. This is just about, you know, the amount of control you like to maintain on your external circumstances. That's something to think about, because if you're okay with everything in general, then it's okay that you're not very direct. But given the cards that are there, it's kind of asking you to embody the spirits of the Magician, of the active creator, and the Emperor, who is the, you know, action itself. Okay, let's move on to more cards, see what they have. We have a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. Okay, so that can be something that kind of takes you to that Emperor space. But also it is kind of talking about how, again, you are the one who's the creator. You're creating this new horizon for your own self, right? You're the one creating it and moving it right now, today. Yeah, so if you use your energy right, if you actually work towards it and not just intend it and think about it or whatever, that of course is a part of manifestation, but you do need to have directed effort as well, right? So as long as you keep that action, you will definitely see a bright new creative happening, you know, really happy type of opportunity for yourself. You'll find new growth for you. Okay. We also have Crane. You will soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Luck and longevity bless this union. Okay, this can be talking about like partnering up in terms of business, or you are becoming some type of authority, and that will require you to have more organization and productivity in general, right? So you might be anticipating this and you're probably asking for that as well, but obviously this is for a select few of you. But anyway, it's a good thing. But also in this case, partnership is also about you and that goal. You know, how do you work together? I know it sounds very metaphorical, but I don't know how to explain this. That's something that just randomly came through. So how you do the dishes, it's not the same way. I know I keep giving dishes example. I have some in the sink, so forgive that. But whatever be the chore, the way you execute it is not going to be the same as how someone else executes it. But the way they do it is something that's suitable for them, but you might want to do it some other way. For example, listening to music while you do the dishes, right? Or, you know, fold the clothes or something, anything, right? And also if it's like a bigger goal, obviously the seriousness of it should be a big enough motivation. But if it's something of the mundane tasks that you do not like, then again, how can you make it a little bit more fun and also more ergonomic for you? That is, everything is kind of there. You don't have to think about it anymore. Arrange it and efficient it in a nice little process so that it kind of stays in your head while you're doing it. And it's just a matter of like 1 or 2 practices and then you're set, basically. So you're not paying that much attention to things that are just blah, and instead you're focusing more on the things that you are more serious about. So you have more space, more time to think about the things that need to be thought of on a regular basis, right? Okay, it's all about like having structures in place and having efficiency and just seeing and observing what you have right in front of you and not just, you know, letting things passively pass you by, basically. Awesome. Okay, and we also have choose to follow the path of forgiveness and raise your vibration. Okay. So the hang back and not wanting to do too much might be because of like lethargy of the past or something, and then you scold yourself for procrastinating or, you know, just sitting there. But if negative, I feel like this is what it's saying, is that if negative reinforcement for yourself is not working, then try like a reward type of process. You know, if I do this, then I get this. If you haven't tried it, that's worth taking a look into. But if you have, then also, okay, maybe give it another try. Okay. Anyway. Moving on. How can you stay focused? We have, wow, it has grown since a few days. Anyway, the Wheel of Fortune. And the Two of Swords. Yeah, whenever you feel like confused and conflicted about something, like feeling really stuck with a certain situation, just change things up a bit. This can be as simple as changing the arrangement of your desk to keep it, you know, fresh again. Or it can be shifting your entire study room or workspace or whatever, you know, change the setup basically. And also it can be, you know, sometimes you work here, sometimes you do something there. If it's possible, then maybe try that out. But in all cases, it's kind of like if you feel a little bit stale with a certain something, with that chore itself, then maybe try to switch it up, do something different, put something more decorative or something to just add that bit of, you know, newness to the situation. So you get a new perspective as well on the same thing. Yeah. And we have follow through, which is, well, if I rephrase the question, it can be, how can you follow through, right? How can I stay focused? So that's very nice, good confirmation. And your past supports your future. Yeah, I kept saying that what you create today, so your present is kind of creating the future, but yeah, okay, we're going to read the book for these. Yeah, I've been reading it for all piles and I just like the book. So, yeah. And also it's new and I've not remembered all of the meanings. Okay, so your past supports your future. Your life today was created by the thoughts and the actions of your past, and this card reminds you that every experience you've had, every step you've taken, and every intention you've set has become a node of wisdom on the lattice of your life. In this way, there is no better way to improve tomorrow's trajectory than to work on it today. Awesome. As you weave the web of your life, take the time to include patience, honesty, diligence, and faith. If you find yourself circling through repeating patterns, remember that today's sticky energy may be something that was woven in the past, and that this lesson is only a temporary one. As you cycle upward, your web will become stronger and more stable, and every lesson learned is one more strand of support that can be counted on at a later date. There is a fairness here, a balance, based on merit, loyalty, and steady progress. You are being given a chance to do the right thing and to open your heart to this beautiful law of cause and effect. Go ahead and take advantage of this karmic moment and use your actions to craft your future according to your plan. Are you beginning a cycle or ending one? How does the next cycle begin? What did you do in the past that has created today's reality? And what can you do today to weave the fabric of your reality with a beautiful pattern of love and success? Maybe you need to tie off old patterns and nurture relationships, projects, or ideas. Yeah, and I really like the, cycle. One ends, the other one begins, because we have this spiral here. And even in the other tarot deck that I have, it's all about you complete a cycle, but you're also helically kind of moving upward as well. So the next cycle is going to be an upgrade on the current one. How much of the upgrade, that's what is up to you, right? The faster you learn, the more you learn, the, tighter and higher up the next cycle will be. You can advance faster and more. Yeah, so it is kind of up to your ambition, of course, but we're talking about a variety of productivity scenarios. But yeah, you get it. Okay, let's move on to follow through. Was your big, beautiful masterpiece left unfinished? A book or a symphony? Something you began but didn't fully birth? Right now is the perfect time to revisit an old dream that was always meant to happen. It's a perfect time to follow through with people, projects, promises, and ideas. Tying up loose ends will allow you to interact with integrity and to keep all your energetic resources intact. When you set out to start something new, you place a bit of your energetic self, time, money, energy, intentions, into the hopes of that new beginning. Leaving a project floating or unfinished can niggle away at the back of your mind long after the idea has been forgotten. That nagging voice that says, "You did not do what you said you were going to do," can drain you energetically, and that guilt can even become a sense of diminished self-worth or lack of accomplishment. If your heart knows it is not meant to happen, it's time to officially close the energetic ties that bind. What do you need to finish? What needs closure? It's time to reclaim all of those energy strings so you can use them to weave your brightest future. What unfinished business could you close off that would make you feel buoyant? Are you following through and following up with your relationships and your connections? Are you better at starting or finishing things? How can you use this knowledge to plan your steps effectively? Yeah. I like the end questions. Kind of make you think, isn't it? Yes, that was very insightful. Okay, how can you know that it is the right time for a task? We have IC, so private self, home life, and childhood. So, this is the whole chore feeling. And also, I guess two groups of people will be watching this. One is like home chores, kind of like, I don't want to do things, but I have to do things. I don't know how to get to do things, because otherwise it gets a bit of a hassle. Meanwhile, for others, it's like a bigger ambition type of something that you've wanted to do since a very long time. Perhaps, back into your childhood as well. And we did talk about, bringing things back from the past. And do you want to discard them or do you want to carry them forward with you? And if so, can you do it properly, please? Right? That feels like a very nice connection there. But in all cases, kind of like the first moment that you know that, okay, I have to do this, just do it. just do it. You don't have to think about it anymore after that, right? Okay. We have 3 of Wands. And we have the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. Something that makes you feel good. Something that makes you feel optimistic. Those are like the ideal tasks to do, right? But even if not, it's kind of like, do you want to feel this? It's kind of, the question was, how do you know when it's the right time? You want to feel optimistic, you want to feel ready for tomorrow, you want to feel well rested and peaceful and balanced. That's when, and simultaneously, you know that you have to do this, right? So better get it over soon, because the 3 of Wands is all about, this is going to happen soon. When it's in a timeline, someone asks when, blah, blah, it's always soon, like anytime now. That's the answer. So you want to feel this 9 of Pentacles vibe of, chill, balanced, grounded, all of those feelings as quickly as you can. And that as quickly will begin the moment you get that trigger from your inside. Yeah? So basically the idea is that the moment you feel it, just do it. You will then feel, very rested, and you'll feel good overall. Maintain things. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the Emperor and the Magician, I forgot. To-do lists might be something that is helpful for you. Or having reminders. Or having like time slots. 1 hour I will only do my work, and the other half hour I will only relax, not even thinking mentally about the work or something. That can be applicable for some of you. Okay. Yes. Next we have, how do you know when it is too much? Wait, right? I'm actually referring to a spread. Oh, sorry. Okay. How to get to all the things you want to get done each day. Okay. Cool. So we have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, again, the to-do list thing, and kind of multitasking, time management, process management. That's the whole, make things very automatic, or a muscle memory, basically, so that, you can just get things done without needing to think too much. That's how, the Page of Swords is able to, handle so many different things, right? It's immersed in the book, but it's also like thinking, it's also walking. Yeah. Multitasking is something that can help as well. But Knight of Wands is like, please don't forget to add something fun as well. So it should not be like 3 or 4 things working simultaneously and all of them you dislike, right? Have one thing that you like, but a lot of the other things that you just need to get done, I was also, dance while you do things. That's something. If it is more like a chore type of situation and you don't really need to talk to anyone or need full concentration, then that would be valid for you people, right? Dance or sing or something just joyful and just alive and up and about type of thing with the Knight of Wands. That can liven up your mood and you can get things done much faster as well. Okay? Yes, now we will do, how can you know when it is too much? Cool. So we have the Guardian of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. We have the Elder of Swords, that's King of Swords. It's a lot of swords. And we have the 9 of Swords, okay. So you will start feeling very, very self-critical. You'll start becoming a bit of a, I don't know, you'll be too tight with yourself, very stubborn about your goals, and the quality control will be at an all-time high. You cannot give yourself any breathing space. You'll feel very anxious and paranoid about what's going to happen, and if I don't achieve this, then that will happen, that will happen, that will happen. So basically you have been working on negative reinforcement, and this might have been developed in your childhood. That's what the whole past thing was about, I suppose. But it is time to kind of leave it in the past, okay? Because it is just hurting you, and you just feel bad about yourself and about the amount of things that you did, and that's what we were talking about, right? Diminished sense of self-esteem self-esteem and loss of sense of achievement or something. It can feel like that. It's just both of them are very critical, and to a level it is really good. That way you maintain consistency, you maintain discipline, you maintain that the work you put out is consistent, right? I already said anyway. It's okay. They are definitely very consistent, right? Okay. Yeah, but if it becomes too much, then it can be super detrimental, especially because, yeah, on its own, the Queen and the King of Swords, they are kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. If you know that movie, I don't know, it's quite old now. But they're a couple who are like super similar, but too similar, does not get along all the time. Right? So they also are on opposite sides in the fight, and it's kind of like will they, won't they type of situation. But yeah, that was my point. Like you are definitely doing a good job, but you don't see it that way. You're still kind of opposing it, and you're like, yeah, but that thing can be done better. This thing can be done better. And like I said, in a healthy dose, it's awesome. But with the Nine of Swords being there, I'm guessing you go borderline not, or maybe more than borderline for some of you. You can get insomnia and stuff as well. Basically feeling very under attack by everyone, and you feeling kind of small and powerless within yourself, while still putting on a very strict and principled front. Right? So that's when you know that it is just too much. You're feeling too much when you become overly critical about yourself and the work that you're doing. Okay, so basically you need to, kind of step away from that situation. Or at least, if you cannot step away from the situation, at least you know that, okay, I might get overwhelmed here. What can I do quickly that is going to, bring me back down? Awareness is something that's really important, right? Most of the time we don't even know what the problem is. We just keep on floating, and that's why we keep falling into the repetitive patterns. But definitely take a look and kind of see if this is something that is stemming from the past, that you get scolded if something does not go perfectly, like all the time, and for some of you it might have been like a harsh way of punishment or something that can really stick to someone's mind, right? But we don't want that to keep happening for your future. So it's time to kind of teach yourself positive reinforcement, that is reward based achievements. Right? Just check out some work. There's a lot of information online about that, and it's very easy to understand too. So yeah, check it out and see if that works for you. Okay, we have the Hermit. This is about how can you back off and rest. We have 8 of Wands, and we have 3 of Swords. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, when you're basically hurting yourself, that's the time you need to back off. Okay. Hurting yourself, I am guessing mentally a lot. Mentally. You might overthink things, and then you might overthink the overthinking as well. It happens sometimes. Yeah, sure. There have been phases when that was a thing, so if that's you as well, then you know that that's the time you badly need to back off, stop feeling powerless, and kind of go within right there on the spot. It's kind of like, what's the worst that can happen now? Right? This is that very hot, tense situation. 3 of Swords is like when you're breaking your own heart, using your own mind, your own words, self-sabotaging in any way, self-harm in all senses, okay? That's exactly that moment, you know what? I need some distance. And you can travel elsewhere, take a short trip or something, go to a neighborhood park or somewhere that is a little bit unfamiliar. We've been talking about that for a while now. Somewhere unfamiliar, so it kind of freshens you up and you look around a little bit and you can find some peace in yourself. Right? The hermit is about entering into a very contemplative and introspective state. Be alone by yourself and just breathe a little bit, because really the only person that can get you out of this mood and just the whole way that your patterns, your mood day to day and also over time can be only solved by you, basically, right? I mean, no one can really feel exactly the way that you felt. The amount of happy for a certain thing is not going to be the same for everyone, right? So because of that, and it is those subtle things that make a difference of how well we feel heard. We keep asking other people to hear us and understand us, but how can they? Even if they are really empathetic and everything, how can they? It is still going to be based on their own experience, their own memory of what their happiest moment was or their saddest moment was. But that moment itself was not the same. That your reaction to that situation would not be the same as theirs. So there is no way that anyone can, understand completely. Yeah? But here, if it is about self-hurting in any way, even if it is due to procrastination, you don't do the dishes today, you have nothing for tomorrow, and then you have a bigger pile tomorrow, and then it's just annoying and you just feel overwhelmed because you have other tasks to do as well. In a smaller situation or a bigger situation, it still applies. If you are self-harming in any way or self-sabotaging in any way, you need to take a look at why do you do that. Because it definitely seems to be like a pattern from the past. For some of you, this can be father issues. Or just, if both your parents were very dominant, then I guess parental issues in that case. But it's a good idea to, take a look at that and think about it. Just to yourself, you don't need to explain things to anyone or anything, but it's just good to know for you, right? So that you can just heal that, leave it in the past, and move on as best as you can. It does take time, but you can. That's the whole reading, basically. You definitely can. And the only one that can help you is you, and you've got it. Yeah? Okay. Further advice and final suggestions. There you go. We have Soul on Fire. Amazing. It's like your own spirit wants to speak with you. Here, like when it came to resting, it's like, yeah, just talk to me. Talk to yourself. You will hear you. You will feel you. Like that's the best friend, isn't it? I'm not saying don't have other friends or don't talk to anyone else, but it's important to process the same thing within yourself as well, because again, they will react based on their experiences and their responses are going to be based on their feeling of how they would respond in a similar situation. But it might not be applying to you at all. Yeah? So it's great to take suggestions, but it's first important to know what you need in the first place. Because that as well something that happens so commonly, and it's very easy to happen, right? Social setting, it's easy to happen, and this becomes kind of muted and underplayed because the soul itself is not loud. It's very subtle and it kind of floats into your life and does its thing and just passes by, right? So if you don't stop and listen, it's gonna pass you by. But your soul is blazing, it wants to talk, so it's time to talk back. Right? And we have in balance. Wonderful. We have the balance thing here as well, right? I think we'll see the description, but I'm sure there will be some type of correlation there. Okay. Then we have, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. These cards, by the way, can be used as affirmations. So if you like something, it resonates with you, then you can keep repeating it till you really absorb that understanding of the card. Okay? When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Exactly. So you know exactly what you are looking for, what you want, what you are creating, and you know that you will get there because you're making the efforts today, and you know you will make that effort tomorrow, and you're making sure that you stay steady, right? So what is that certainty? Where is that faith? What is your incentive? What gives you faith? What keeps you moving forward? What's your motivation? If you don't know it, how can you expect to be and stay motivated, right? So which part of a certain task is it? Or how can you add more into your life at this time? Okay, because that is something that can really help you to get more stuff done and feel able to do awesome work in all of them. The presence of love will always cast out fear. Yeah, love of the self, love of the universe, just love itself. It's unconditional, it's gentle, it is soft and all-encompassing. It's like the best warm hug, you know. More. Way more than all of that as well. Because it's not subjective, it's not human. Love itself is not a human quality, it is creation, right? I can get all poetic, but I hope you get what I mean. Okay, I am the loving energy of the universe. Oh, okay, so it's like you are love. Why are you looking for someone or something else? Because you yourself are love. Just be it and be a beacon for others to find that. If the heart is broken, it cannot align with the voice of the spirit. Okay, so if you hurt yourself again and again, you're repeatedly breaking down your own spirit. You let yourself down, you pull yourself down. All of that happens, and that's, I think, the worst feeling, at least according to me, like to let myself down, because there's no harsher critic than me, and that's even if I count the very strict people in my life. well, not many, not every, but most of them. Yeah. So you need to recognize some of because again, critical people in general, when they're external to you, they can always find something to critique about. Okay, that obviously something cannot be absolutely perfect. Okay, fine. But they also don't know how much you had to struggle to get a simple thing done because you've not done it before. And there is no judgment in any of that, but they don't understand that emotion, right? Even if it is, getting up from the bed immediately as soon as your eyes are open, right? When was the last time that happened? And what if you were trying to create that as a habit? So your grandparents will probably say, yeah, so, we always do that. But you never did. And you never thought that could be possible, but you did it and you feel nice. And if that feeling of nice is just way nicer, right? Do you know what I mean? It's I guess the simple things. Yeah, but my point was that only you can understand yourself, the joys and the sorrows. So yeah, stay in touch with you. Okay, in balance. Ever elusive balance. Oh my god, that's so accurate. You could drive yourself a little nutty, chasing the perfect ratio of work, home, health, family, social life, hobbies, and woo time. And it's okay not to strive for such a compulsive perfection. Sometimes, chilling way the bleep out is exactly what's needed to usher in some desperately needed balance. Then again, you may be so complacent that your heart is begging for a healthier mix. And if this is you, and you'll know when it is, then the universe requires more consistent energy from you in order to deliver your dreams. Regardless of your situation, if you're feeling misaligned and out of whack, it's time to come back to center. Look for solutions and situations that feel grounding and calming. Avoid anything that will tip the scales and suck way too much of your energy, time, or money or that it will provide you with too much lazing around time. And actively seek the moderation of tasks and time. Step away from drastic and excessive and any imbalances that just don't feel right. Consistent introspection to see where you're lacking and where you are leaking energy will guide you to the middle ground that's required right now. Find long-term success through a measured blending of strengths, productivity, and stillness. Yeah, exactly. You're using all your resources. This is internal as well as external with the Magician. And you can totally build a solid foundation for yourself. There's the whole thing of stillness. You need to focus, you need to calm, and you need to recollect and regroup yourself. And also, we have productivity, which is the whole reading. I love this. Okay. No one can create balance for you. Only you know it because it is a feeling. How balanced do you feel today? What does a balanced life look like to you? Can you plan a week around this? Are there any self-critical not enoughs that are eating their way into your balance? Oh wow, that is about the whole self-critical thing. How is it so? I'm always surprised because I don't see them, even if they flip over, I don't see all the cards and together, so it doesn't tie, it's just another card, right? But when I start doing the reading, I love this. Okay. Moving on to the next one, Soul on Fire. Fearlessly pursue that which sets your soul ablaze. Soul on Fire is an exhilarating state. It is impulsive, it is catchy. It is the one tunnel vision option that lies ahead of you that you absolutely cannot stop thinking about. It's passionately obsessive and thrilling, and it's always filled with warm spirals of escalating energy. What do you see when you look at your tomorrow? Does it reverberate excitement? Is there fire energy there? If there isn't, you may be running after empty substitutes for your dream, and it's time to find true zest for your journey. When you make the decision to expand your life this way, the shift can happen quickly. Souls ablaze are magnetic and have a way of making huge changes in short spurts. Extraordinary experiences are built from within ordinary, everyday lives. You have everything you need to find this spark of fascination for your journey. That's interesting because we have everything at your disposal. That's all the resources that you needed with the Magician, and to create and make your dream happen is the Emperor. That's awesome. How could you expand your current reality so that it would be big enough to house your dream? Cut through the nonsense and mad babble you've been using to market or describe yourself. Stop trying to dazzle with expert lingo or fancy systems. Drop the facade. Sell them passion, your fire, your dream. If you could bring more infectious enthusiasm to your goal and talk about it from a place of passion, what would you say? What a nice way to end this reading. Love it. So if you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. Feel free to check out any of my other videos. You can see them in my channel right there. But until next time, I will see you. Take care. Bye.